Hi everybody, it's Galactic Man Larry here again, and today we have in front of us from SH Figuarts, from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Ghost Spider or Spider-Gwen actually, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. And yeah, I mean these figures have been out there for months, like half a year or even a bit more, I don't know, something like that. And I've had them since the summer, sometime around the summer, but I just haven't had time, or I haven't given myself the time to just sit and open them and review them. Of course, the other day, like 2-3 days ago, I finally watched the movie because, if believe it or not, the city I live at has no proper cinema at the moment. It has like an art cinema, which is great, but it doesn't have like a mainstream large cinema. It used to, but since COVID that thing died anyway. And so now that it's at Netflix, I finally watched it. So here we have them, the packaging looking great, you know, the typical Figuarts showing you a picture or some artwork or a still from the character. In this case, is graphic, is not like the, well, here's the actual figure. Here you have some shots from the figure looking great. I mean, and I guess it comes with that base. We'll check that in a moment. Stuff in Japanese, yeah, more legal stuff. The figure looking great. I mean, that head sculpt is amazing. Also, these two, actually, Miles gets two. I don't know why she only gets one. We'll check that in a moment. And yeah, I mean, there you have them. Let's just take them out of there and see how good they actually are. And there you have Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man Miles Morales from SH Figuarts out of the packaging. I mean, still on the tray, but just out of the boxes. Both of them come with a little instruction sheet, both in Japanese and in English. I mean, it's good to have these instructions because these figures ain't cheap, and you could damage them if you pull something too harsh or without knowing. You know, if it's your first Figuarts, better check the instructions. They both come with a very nice character specific stand. You know, I mean, the Gwen's is amazing in that really bright pink. It really stands out. I mean, they're just their colors, you know, both are great, but I mean, this pink is just, yeah. And they, of course, come with the translucent bits there. We'll check that when I take all of that out of the box. And there you have Gwen on the tray, how everything is displayed there. A lot of extra hand. I mean, it's like 5, including the ones she comes with, 5 pairs of hands. And there you have Miles also with the extra heads, the interchangeable like eye lenses or whatever they're called. And these are the boxes without their content. I just wanted to show the background there, like that web background, which is a nice detail. I mean, you can see it, but when the figures are in, of course, you don't get to appreciate it. So there you have your Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales Spider-Man out of the packaging, finally properly out of the packaging, and with everything they come with. As you can see, both of them come with a lot of pairs of hands. They both come with this little tool that will help us at some point to remove something from the back. Well, if you want to use the display stands, these things will help. I'll just take them out of the way for a moment. That's just black plastic, and they come both with this set of like web accessories. This is just like a long line of web, or like a longer one. These ones are just to be grabbed exactly where I'm holding them. Here they grab them with their hands, and this is the tip and the the squirty bit. I don't know, the thing that is going to the front, you know. Here you have like also a thwip, but these ones you remove the hand from the waist. Let me actually try to focus on these tiny little bits of plastic. There you can see, if you remove the waist from any hand, you can have this thing throwing Yeah, looking very jazzy, juicy, you know. Anyway, and there you have like for the short shots. Uh, yeah. Then you have for Gwen a couple of sweeping hands, looking great. I mean, the paint is very nicely applied, at least as far as I can see at the moment. And the fingers, as thin as they are textured. So the whole thing is textured. Miles comes also with this, the same, you know. I mean, spider people have to come with sweeping hands. We have said that for Marvel Legends as well. And yeah, they should learn from Figuarts. I mean, they have been including more hands lately in the anniversary releases and since then, but now with the carded movie releases, I think they went back to incomplete pairs of hands. We'll see that when I get those figures. There you have the web holding hands. These ones are the ones you use for this thing actually. Yeah, and then you just somehow you slide that in and you swing through the galaxy. You have the same for Miles, these hands that can grab the actual sweeping line, the long you know, the long shot here. Anyway, yeah, this thing looks like it does, and we are gonna keep it family friendly, you know. There you have these, like, we could call them like warning hands, or maybe they're just wall crawling hands. You can use it for both, for wall crawling and for expression. Miles has the same. I guess these are really intended as wall crawling hands. Also, Miles' hands have a lot of texture there. I mean, even this, I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can. You can see this arrow pattern on the upper part of the hand, the outer part, and texture all across the fingers. I mean, these figures came out really nicely. We have these ones for Gwen, just like they're like concentrated, or I'm just about to drop myself from a building hands. I mean, because she does that all the time, just like very elegantly letting herself go from a building, not to die, not suicidal. She knows she's Spider-Gwen, and that's just her style of catching some wind, you know. And there you have these ones for Miles. These are unique to him. I don't know if this would count like his electric power thing, or he just has this one for extra expression. Now we have the heads. Let's do Miles first. This is like his, I'm just thinking of whatever face. Just look at that hair sculpt. Dominicano y Afroamericano. So there you have him. He has all the hair, and he has, yeah, this is, I don't know, the more bland expression, and this is, in my opinion, more like one of his typical attitudes. This entweder, that's German. This is, maybe he's being cocky, or he's pretending to be so cool, you know, like, but he's nervous in the inside. If you have watched the movies, you know what I mean. If you want things to make more sense, you use this neck piece, just pop it out of the upper body, and this is for when you're not wearing the mask, you know, for the heads we just shown. And Miles has this very particular thing, that he has these extra lenses, which are very nicely painted with some pearlescent metallic white. I mean, it pearlescent, leave the metallic white, and they have this red for the edges, and they have even like a blue or black line in between. I don't know if it's blue or black. It's blue. It's kind of blue. It's some sort of blue or purple. There you can see the inside of these things, how they peg into the actual head. For Gwen, we have this extra yeah, like she's mistrusting someone, or she's focusing, or she's not mistrusting. Yeah, she's just about to go into battle, or she's focused, already battling someone, you know. There she is. You can see the basketball texture of the head. I mean, it's supposed to be textile. You have also this neck piece for her, for when she's not wearing the hood, the mask. There you have this beautiful head sculpt. I mean, these are the things that sell. Of course, the costume itself, but I mean, I guess everybody loved this character. Everybody. I'm talking for myself at least. I think she's quite popular character. You know, I mean, I think a lot of people really like this head sculpt, how she looks, the design, and just yeah, she's a pretty character, you know. And there you have the hoodie when she's just not wearing it on top of her head. And then you have, for both of them, the stands we just saw on the actual, I mean, now they're out of that bag, super glossy, and you have this piece, and there you can see places where you can remove those plastic bits. And then you have also the same for Gwen, and I mean, this one is amazing. That pink, I mean, the both colors, I mean, this is a very cool, I mean, black and red is always cool, but this is like pops so much, you know. And of course the translucent bit. Now for the actual figures, let's do Miles first. I mean, you can see, I mean, they of course they do the male and female thing here very clearly. This guy has like broad shoulders, goes into a V shape, super thin waist, and the legs are skinny. And Gwen, I mean, both are very athletic, and they're like teenagers, but they're older than in the previous film. And she has larger hips, less broad shoulders, but she's also like, you know, both are lean or whatever. And there you have Miles, very cool and very clearly nicely painted logo there on the chest. Here you have the back also with that very nice spider logo. You can see the texture here, and you have like satin or like flat bits. I don't know how to say it, like when you have no texture, is that satin? And it's a bit glossier, or just because it has no texture, and it's actually a bit bluish. I thought it was supposed to be just black, or maybe it's because of the lighting, but it's like a bluish black, if I can say it like that. There you can see the head also has this texture, and these like bits here are super nice, the kind of lenses. And yeah, I mean, of course the figures, these are not toys to be smashing at the wall and playing wildly. These are to be handled with care. These have thin joints and are expensive figures, and are not like you know, they're not play school. they're to be posed and appreciated, and yeah, they're like Figuarts. Just follow the actual name of the product, you know. So we pull this out. So those were the first eyes. Now you have like Spider Spectre here. Now then we place the, I guess it would be this one, like this, for the super expressive, or like scared, or like, yeah, he's more like in shock here. There you have the variant. And of course I'm guessing, or you're guessing as well, that we can combine them. So we just go like this. That's very cool. Or we do like this, you know. So there's the options you have. Options are always good to have, I'd say. Now, articulation wise, you just have to, I mean, the head is on a ball peg, I guess. It goes up and down and can do all of this. I mean, we're already using the neck. You can see the neck moves around nicely, so he has a lot of range going down. Upwards is a bit more limited, which is quite a shame, but you can of course compensate with the torso, the diaphragm and waist to look up and all of that. Be careful when handling this figure. Again, just always hold next to the piece you're moving. You can lift the shoulders up to 90 degrees, but they are in a floating cap here, so they have like a butterfly 360 degrees kind of thing. So he can lift up that far. And he has a bicep cut that can go I don't know if all the way. Well, I'm turning all the way already. I'm being careful, you know, I'm being slow with these guys. So he can turn, I would say, all the way around maybe, but I'll limit myself because I don't want to break this thing, of course. Double jointed pinless elbows. I guess these elbows, the articulation, the joints, they go into the arms, you know, like with a peg or something. There's people who have put these things apart, and there maybe you have seen that already. But yeah, anyway, the hands are in these ball hinges. They can turn all the way around, and they go up and down, and you can turn the actual hinge so that, I mean, if you grab it very closely, you know, very tightly, you can turn the whole thing. This the other hands for Miles, like this. Yeah, he uses like to say like what, you know. Or whatever. These are very expressive as well. We said again, look at that. This thing can really come out all the way there, so he can properly articulate. I don't know if both move the same way. This one is coming out that very nicely, and this one is like stuck in there. I don't know. I know it's already also coming out again. So look at, yeah. I mean, these guys have the moves. Oh, I won't be able to show everything in camera because, of course, this is a figure that you have to fiddle a lot with to get to know. You have to actually get to know these figures because they are very articulated. The diaphragm can go back forwards a little bit, backwards, of course, a bit further. He has steel to the sides. That's nice. He can turn around at the diaphragm. Just feel where it stops and stop there, you know. Never force these things because the pegs and joints are thin pieces of plastic. Even if it surely or hopefully is high quality plastic, you just don't want to force things. The waist feels a bit more like like being even more careful. Just be aware how you move things, you know. I wouldn't just like turn it, like squeeze it, you know. And there you can see he has the splits, but G.I. Joe splits better. I mean, these are these are great splits, but and I think that's enough, yeah. But the G.I. Joe classifieds do it better. Anyway, yeah, whatever. But this guy has also drop down. We're talking about Spider-Man, so that makes sense. It's not floppy. These legs are also not heavy, so that helps. He can kick backwards like nothing, but forward he can lift the leg all that far. They have like a ball jointed hips here, so that helps, of course, somehow. I just haven't discovered exactly how, but I think I will at some point in my life. But yeah, you check it yourself if you decide to get the figures. I mean, these figures look really great, and I can already tell you, like, it was an instant buy for me when they announced them. That's as far as the double jointed knee can bend, and you can of course see they're very thin. So you have, I mean, these legs, just look at, that's like a G.I. Joe weapon, a nozzle there, so you know, a barrel. Anyway, the feet can go forward and backward that far. They're in a ball hinge. They have a nice ankle rocker, and they also have this thing, the toe hinge, a little bit, because I mean, look how thin these feet are. But yeah, that's one of his heads, you know, without the mask, unmasked heads, you know. I was gonna pull the head, but the whole thing came with the neck very easily. So that's one of the heads, and let's see how this works. And this is the better one in my opinion. I mean, both are good, but this is the fun one, you know. And yeah, that's how he looks like with unmasked, you know. Now for Gwen, there you can see she of course has her hood there, so the head can move all the way around. The head can also move a bit in the hood, but of course that will make things a little bit difficult. So let's just remove that hood. You can move the neck all around it, and this head has, of course, it's on a ball peg, so you can see it can move all the way around, and that's how that one looks. Let's just do that already. We bring the skeptical look here. Yeah. The arms can lift well above 90 for this one. I mean, all the way. I mean, they maybe thought about the thing, you know, she's like a ballerina and all of that, so she can do, yeah, all those moves. She can, of course, has the same system as Miles here, like she can pull the arm all the way with those like butterfly cap, whatever system. Is this a regular butterfly? This is a more complex thing, kind of, in my opinion, at least. I guess that whole thing is also in some kind of ball situation. She has a bicep cut, can go all the way around. In this case, I'm not feeling any. Well, this arm feels a bit less cooperative. It has a bit more friction. It's much more tighter. That's the thing. It's much more tight. And you can see, of course, the shoulder bead also is also like in a peg there. But I don't know. I didn't feel like being able to move to turn the shoulder on that hinge here or whatever, but there you have the bicep cut for that. You have double jointed pinless elbows, can bend all the way. I don't know if you have a better combination, but that's very useful already. Yeah, and there you can see also she has, of course, same system like a ball hinge that you can turn around, and it can turn like this or like that. And there you have like her, it's almost like a salute hand, you know, but of course she's not an army person, but it's just, yeah, a total like a chop hand, you know, karate chop. You can like be careful while handling your figures. By the way, she can bend forward that far. That's already using both. I mean, backwards is super generous, which is great. Forward you use that much from the waist and that much from the diaphragm. It's sadly a bit limited, I must say. I mean, for these figures, which are much more expensive, I would like to have a bit more. But you have also the thing that they have, I mean, they're very thin bodies and all of that, but still, I don't know. I mean, she can do all that much backwards. That means they could have also done something forwards, yeah, could have done better. That's at least my train of thought. She can bend that far. She has much more waist area as Miles, so she can do a bit more tilt to the sides. That's good. She can do the turning here upwards is much, yeah, feels less obstructed, and in the waist I'm feeling, I mean, because of the shape, of course, he has also this piece that's more like for adjustments, and you do more turning on the diaphragm. Just be careful not, again, always hold and feel the limits of the plastic. There you have the splits again, Figuarts that cannot do as good as classified, but yeah, I mean, it's not like it's bad, but I mean, spider people, you know, I mean, and we have what, Duke and Scarlet being able to do more than this, and of course Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes is no brainer, yeah, or Storm Shadow, but you know, Cobra Viper having more splits than spider people, you know. Anyway, she can kick forwards all that, that far, and that's already with the drop down, which is, I'm not that impressed. I mean, it's almost just a little bit above 90. She can kick backwards a little bit. She has the same thing, like the hips are on a ball joint instead of just a hinge. She has a little bit of wiggly waggly there, you know, like some movement there. You can of course turn around on the hip and all of that for adjustments. I think it's not all the way, because these are not just a round shape, they have like a bit of an oval shape, but yeah. Double jointed pinless knees, can bend only that far, or well, only that's great, you know, but I mean, you have to take in account these are very stylized figures from a very specific animation style. They're not like as natural, they're not natural human shape, you know. These are stylized, and that of course puts some limitations, I guess. I'm not trying to condone any anything that could have been done better, but you can see she has a loop through ankle there. But yeah, I mean, these are, yeah, you want to keep the aesthetic undisturbed, I guess. There you have the feet that can go forwards and backwards all the way, I guess, all the way that you need. These shoes, yeah, if I'm right, she got them from someone else, yeah. Anyway, she can turn, this is a very nice ankle rocker that doesn't mess with the sculpt at all. At least that's why I'm seeing. And she has much more toe pivot, what was the name? Toe articulation. The toe hinge, even if it doesn't stay super flat, but it's there. You know, you can do whatever you want with it. Yeah. Now that's Gwen with her unmasked head on. I'm using the wrong neck piece on purpose. I just wanted to see how that looks like with the full like suited neck going up there. And I mean, that head sculpt is money, you know. And there you have her with the more adequate, you know, neck piece. And yeah, it's looking great in my opinion. And of course their smiles closer. And yeah, I mean, there you have, like, if they popped out of the screen. And by the way, something I realized halfway through the review, but after having been through the head section, you know, this checking the faces and all that, you just pull this thing back in the back, and that's how you, because I was like, why am I not able to put the head in the hooded, you know, I've seen people doing photos like this. Okay, now I'm gonna face some trouble here, I guess, but yeah, there's a way to do this. And after you fiddle with it a little bit, it's a bit, I mean, it's quite fiddly, but you can manage to put that head in there. You just have to remove all this excess hair. But yeah, that's another look. I don't think I will be using this one a lot. Even, I mean, it looks nice, but yeah, I mean, you can see the neck is there. I haven't found a way to better pose the head inside of the hood, but it should be possible, or maybe it's just intended to be like that, you know, like a bit always like with that little tilt. Anyway, looks good, and it's an option. Now for size comparisons, there you have Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man Miles Morales next to Scarlet, Corsair, Deadpool, this is the retro-carded one with the Sunfire body, and Cobra Commander from the G.I. Joe Classified Series line. And I think they scale pretty well. Next to the loose collector Red Sonja, Psylocke from the 3-pack, you know, from that X-Men issue, whatever. The Spider-Man also from the 3-pack, the Super Friends 3-pack, and the new Eternia Skeletor. Next to the Marvel Legends and Mafex, Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Gwen. This is a Super 7 Metalhead and a G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Eel. And next to a comic book, Black Widow, an MCU Black Widow, a Black Series Stormtrooper Mike, and Darth Malak. And that's it for this review. I think these two figures are amazing. I mean, the SH Figuarts, Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man Miles Morales, they are very stylized and thin figures, so you have to be careful. I almost break one of these, hands, I mean the joints from Spider-Gwen, because I wanted to push one of the hands in, the hand she actually has in right now, and and I stressed the little pink joint, so I put it into hot water. The stress mark is gone, but I'm like, okay, I almost smashed my $90 figure. I mean, and it's not to, you know, my $90 figure, but I mean, it's an expensive toy or a collectible to be breaking it right away. And yeah, they are very thin. The plastic is a bit flexible, but you don't want to overdo it. And if you feel like something is not coming off, definitely use some hot air or hot water, because you don't want to snap anything, you know. These figures are really, I mean, aesthetically they're beautiful, and practically they're a bit yeah, handled with care, you know. Of course, the joints are not super thick or super, you know, durable. They hopefully are durable, but you can just break them if you don't handle them with care. But I really recommend them if you are patient with Figuarts, you know, changing hands and all of that. But I mean, if you're into photography and all of that, these figures are great. And just to have them posed in their stance or just in regular poses, they just look great, you know, and they are quite articulated. So I think if you have the money for them right now, pull the trigger. I mean, they look great and they are very enjoyable figures. Just handle them with care again. So please leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.